Good evening. Welcome back to Community Crossfire. I'm Councilwoman Zanthia Oliver. It's a pleasure to see y'all. The Eagles won. I'm dressed down today because I'm going to go on vacation, but it's a pleasure to be back on Community Crossfire. This evening, I have special guests that don't really need any introduction. She's well known throughout the community. She does a lot of community work, but I will allow her to give her name, her title.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Anesha Law. I am the Community Executive Director at the Walnut Street YMCA, so where we serve over 200 kids per day from our 2-year-olds all the way up to our 17-year-olds.
Oh, okay. I have a few questions I had wrote down. Ms. Laws, how is the YMCA celebrating its 85th anniversary?
Yeah, so this is a big year for the Walnut Street Y. We are celebrating our 85th anniversary of serving the East Side and serving the community. So many people may not or may know that last year, towards the end of last year, Dr. Jean Nutter released a book about the history of the Walnut Street Y. Mm-hmm. We just started filming a documentary about the history of the Walnut Street Y. And so all of this is kind of falling in the great time as we celebrate 85 years of existence. And so not only do we have the book that's going to share the history of the Y, we have the documentary that's coming out this year that's going to talk about the history of the Y. We plan to celebrate in a really big way this fall. So we will have additional information about how we're going to celebrate, but not only through celebrations, but through fundraising campaigns as well. We even started a group earlier this year called Friends of Walnut, where we will allow people who were impacted by the Walnut Street Y, who grew up in the Walnut Street Y, who may be between ages of 60 to 85, 90 years old, who want to just kind of make it their goal to make sure that the Y stays as a vital entity in the community. And so Friends of Walnut have been meeting. They have some plans that they want to do to make sure that they're involved and engaged with the Y. So it's a big year. We have some merch coming out, so we have some shirts, some hats that we're going to be able to provide everyone to just kind of help with the celebration.
Well, I think that's amazing. Will y'all invite some of the former maybe presidents or CEOs from the Y? I know Jack Booker used to be one, so made me think of it. I think just throwing some things out there. Some minorities used to be involved, and maybe some people, as you stated, that grew up in the Y and did some activities. I will also give you a couple of names that maybe y'all may not be aware of, but I'm glad. I like to come to one of the meetings. Do they have a Facebook page?
We do. We do have we just started the Facebook group. It's called Friends of Walnut Street Y. So I'll definitely, if you want to join or want to get involved, if you grew up in the Y, I definitely think join the Facebook page. We actually are getting like a few stories of people that share their experience or their history with growing up in the Y. I mean, we hear about the bowling alley that was in the Y, the toast. We're hoping to do, there was a dance for the teens called the El Trocadero, where back in the day, so we're hoping to bring that back. So we're going to do a lot of good things this year.
And that's going to, and I'd love to make sure I make a contribution, as I always do, to the Y. I like the Y. What programs are available for teens at the Y currently?
Yeah, so one of the things we try to do is make sure that there are opportunities available for our young people, especially our teenage groups. So currently there's a lot. So each day we have our Thrive program that meets every day from 2:30 to 6.
And what do they do in that?
Thrive, you have access to tutoring. It's after school, so you can come after school, whether you can get transportation to the Y or you can walk to the Y or get dropped off. So it's open to teenagers from 13 all the way up to 17, and they're able to hang out at the Y after school. So they have access to a social and emotional learning curriculum. They also have access to free tutoring, and they do enrichment activities as well as STEM. So we also have a podcast studio at Walnut where they're able to engage in a lot of content creation, green screen, so they're able to participate in that as well. So that's every day after school. And then also, of course, we have Black Achievers program that is meeting every Saturday at the Walnut Street Y from 10 to 12, where we have mentors for different corporations that will come out and they'll mentor them. They'll facilitate different workshops, experiences, field trips. But the goal is for our students in the Black Achievers Program to make sure that they have a plan after high school. So I like to call it the plan program, where whether you are going to college, if you're going in a career, that you have the resources, the connections, and the community to help put you on that plan. Youth in Government is currently meeting at Walnut, and so each year the YMCA takes, right now we have over 130 students registered for the program across the state, and the Walnut Street Y has a delegation, and we take students to Dover to compete and to debate bills. So they go onto the floor, they debate, they come up with bills, they debate bills. They stay an entire weekend there. We have some students that will be in the Kent County Courthouse arguing an appellate law court case. And we have our media team, and we have our lobbyist students. And so conference is actually the weekend of April 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Oh, make sure you give me
I'll definitely give you the information so you can come out and see our kids in action.
Right, I like to see that. Now they all 17 and under. Do you have any 18?
It's it's not high school, so 9th to 12th graders participate.
Okay, because we at City Council, we also look for volunteers, but they have to at least be 17. So maybe you have some 17 that would like to get something on their resumes. I'd like for you to give me 4 of their resumes. That's 17.
Okay.
Because we've been looking for that around in March.
Gotcha. And
so 17 resumes, so we can interview them. And it's really something good, as you stated, just to do maybe 15, 20 hours volunteer. It looked good on their resume that they work for City Council. And they did XYZ.
Yeah, and last we have we are continuing with extended hours. So we open the Y to our teens to come in the facility on Friday nights.
That's the part I like.
Up until,
what time they come in?
So they get there at 6 o'clock on Fridays. They stay up until 10 p.m. And so they're able to play basketball, hang out in the teen center. We are able to feed them, so whether Chick-fil-A or pizza, and they're kind of just they're able to be in a safe space and
safe haven for them.
So we're still able to do that. In the summer, we're able to increase the amount of days that the students are able to stay until 10.
That's really good. You do a good job over there, Ms. Laws. How can people get involved with the YMCA or get their youth and Y? Is there an email or a page, or explain that to the audience?
So whether you're looking to volunteer or register your student, there's plenty of opportunities. So volunteer opportunities are online, so you're able to register online to become a volunteer, and that looks like different in many ways, so in many different programs. So what we'll do is when you register to volunteer, we'll kind of get your interest to see what you're interested in. We can put you in different capacities. So if you have any legal or law background, we can potentially have you volunteer for our Youth in Government program. If you're in the business field, we can potentially have you volunteer maybe to present to our Black Achievers program. And we also have groups that will come in and just hang out with our students in the evening, so assisting with activities. And we just had a group of doctors to come in, and they helped out in the evening with our students. So whether that's playing basketball with them, doing an art activity, but just kind of engaging and talking to them about their journey and how they were able to get to where they are now. So there's plenty of opportunities for volunteers. Or if you just want to give back, or you want to support the initiatives that we have going on. But registration is currently available for...
And what is the the registration?
Yeah, so you can register at the Walnut, at the YMCA website. So it's www.ymcade.org. So we currently have enrollment for our before and after school programs, our child care programs as well.
Well, I wanted to mention that I really enjoyed myself at the Black History event. It was a pleasure to see Miss Claire Harmon and Carey, Miss Carey, and she really looks good, her son. And just to see the youth engage with the musicals, and to see the young guys singing, and to see just the involvement with the community and the parents. I was glad to see was parent and participation. And I wanted to, just give you kudos for that program, the Black History program, really turned out well. So y'all do that every year. What was that, the 39th year?
Yeah, so it was the 39th. It was a Martin Luther King birthday celebration. So that's always a fun time because it's a fun way to celebrate Martin Luther King for the younger kids.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah,
and Alfie Morris did a good job.
Yes.
And this was the other young lady who sang, who was organized, singing with the youth.
Yeah, so she also was recommended through Mr. Harmon Carey.
Okay.
So he recommended her to come and sing with the kids. So they have a good time.
Yeah, they had a nice.
And it's the whole family.
Yes,
family of them.
the whole family. I said, look, the whole family.
The whole family.
I was laughing. It was good. Another question I have summer camp registrations open yet?
Yes, summer
really?
camp registration is open. So we accept summer camp registrations for kids that is completing kindergarten all the way up to 17-year-olds. So if you have not registered for camp, or if you want your child to experience camp, I highly encourage you to. We have a unique experience at camp. So camp is fun. Kids are able to swim every day. Mm-hmm. They're able to, we also are able to provide a hot lunch. So we partner with the Community Education Building. So our kids are able to get a hot lunch during the summer. We go on field trips on Fridays. So it's a wonderful camp. And so we have over 200 students in camp, and they're able to swim every day and have
take
fun.
Field trips. I always see y'all. How often do you go on field trips?
We take field trips every week.
Every week.
And they're nice field trips too.
Right.
So we're able to offer opportunities for students to take really nice field trips and enjoy themselves this summer. We also have guests that come in that facilitate different workshops. So it's a good time.
It's good. I really enjoyed when I took them skating.
Mm-hmm.
That group, they really enjoyed their stuff. And it was interesting how, when we were growing up, that was the norm to go skating,
Mm-hmm.
Then you have some kids who don't know how to skate. But I thought it was interesting that you still had some staff members there who was assisting them, showing them how to skate, put on their skates. And it was just I just thought it was a real community day activity for the kids that get out of the community.
Oh yeah, our team is phenomenal.
Yes.
So our team at Walnut is phenomenal.
Yes.
They're really invested in the kids, their families, and so they're like our babies as well. So we treat them as such.
You can tell. Everybody is, one big family over there. Really appreciate working with the Y. Do you have any new initiatives or programs happening at the Y currently?
Yeah, so one of the things we realized, we want to make sure that we are continuing the school day to making sure our students are still learning when they come after school. So one of the things we did was we kind of started like this literacy campaign. So we partnered with Seasons Pizza to offer our students free personal pan pizzas once they complete 15 books a month of reading. So similar to the old Book It program with Scholastic and Pizza Hut, we kind of mimicked that to have a free and innovative way to get our students reading. So we kind of cleaned up our library at the Y, so we made it a space where students can come in and learn how to practice or read. And so they turn it in and they get a coupon to go to Seasons Pizza to get some pizza. So we celebrate them in a big way. We're going to have like a literacy in May. We're going to have an end of a school year big literacy event to see how many students read books or how many books was read at Walnut. We also have a book club coming for our older kids, and so they're going to be meeting towards the end of aftercare to kind of discuss books that they've read as well. So we're really trying to get our kids motivated and excited about reading.
Good.
So for over the past 3 months, we've been working on celebrating that. We also have a program that started called the Evolve program.
What is that about?
So it's an extension to our workforce development program. So, our workforce development program, we are able to hire students and give them paid internships. So 100-hour paid internships, whether in the YMCA or community location.
How old are they?
So you have to be 15 and up.
So if I sent someone over there who was 15, you could help them find a job?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can join the program. So they will enroll in a cohort. And when they enroll in a cohort, they go through some soft skills training. And then after they complete their weeks of soft skills training and professional development, so resume writing, they are also allowed to get a 100-hour paid internship. But one of the things we noticed with our workforce program is that we had some students that graduated from that program, so that maybe 18, 19, 20, who were still trying to figure out how to land themselves in a career. So they may not have taken the college route, but they're still looking for employment. So we just launched our pilot of our first cohort of Evolve, where we are also doing some professional development, but also allowing students to take courses at Del Tech that we're able to support them with the hopes of them potentially landing in a career field.
It's really nice.
We're
Let me
excited
ask you,
about
when
that
you have the youth at that age, what kind of what businesses hire them at that age, at 17 or under, 16 and under? I mean, give me some examples.
Oh, so like the Y. So the Y is one of the largest youth employers in the state as well. So lifeguard, camp counselors. We've had students that were hired in restaurants, in different insurance agencies. So I mean, people really buy into the fact that it's a win-win. The win-win for the Y is a win for the company because we're training and develop them. The company's able to see that, so we're sending them students who have been through, how to, write a professional email, how to answer phones professionally, how to interact with customers. And so, businesses like that. And so they, many times after their 100-hour internship is up, they go ahead and keep them.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. I mean, we're also looking to grow that, that base of businesses who are looking to retain the students after.
It's really nice. What are some of the goals that you're interested in achieving maybe this summer with the youth? Because I know y'all do have an end of a summer big event.
Yeah, so we, of course, many events that we have coming up. We have our Healthy Kids Day event that's coming up in April.
Is that the one in the street? I like that.
Yeah, we have one in the street that we do, and a lot of people come. We have our summer camp is kicking off this summer as well, and then we are having our end of the year. We have an end of the year back to school event as well. But one of the biggest things for me is making sure that we make sure that the YMCA is a part of the community. And so, although we, have a lot of youth development programs, that our building is for the community as well. And so as those youth development programs are happening, we also are, looking to host events for our family, so for the whole family. So how can we continue to serve the entire family and the community as well? So one of my biggest goals is to make sure that the East Side is aware of that. We started a group called the Impact Squad, which is comprised of a few volunteers and staff members at the YMCA, because this year we want to be intentional in making sure that the East Side knows what's happening in the community.
Let me know when you have that meeting so I can come around and be involved with that, because I have a group of individuals, youth, who put out information for me, and we have meetings downstairs like we did the other night, but I had the kids give out the information, and I sit down and explain to the kids what the meeting's all about. So they don't come out at night, but the parents come out. So it may be something I can just get the parents to get involved. So please let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like whenever you get a chance, send me a schedule of some of your meetings, like the Y group and some of your other activities. So this year, I've left my schedule open at least 1 day or 2 days, and that could be the days I come around a while. But before, I should just stretch out my schedules and be running around. But now, like on Fridays, I have a clear schedule. So, like I said, this is my birthday month, so I'm just taking a day off every Friday and try to do something for myself. And like today, I'm just going to the movies with my cousins. But I'm looking forward to, in March, doing our beautification program. So we could talk about that a little later, but the youth at the Y are going to be doing a beautification in partnership with the city of Wilmington at the Fairland Park, right down the street on Pine Street. And it really looks nice. And, I've talked to the Center of Horticulture, and they're looking forward to working with us. I just need a date. We got to give them at least 3 weeks notice. so they can come out and just help clean up and plant some little, small flowers or whatever.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So I'll definitely send the date so we can get,
maybe
because we want to make sure, we drive past it every day. We want to make sure that it stays nice. Because
it looks
season.
nice in the summertime when it's cleaned up, but then the winter, nobody keeps it up. And Miss Brown, who used to live next door, she's in a nursing home now. Okay. So her nephews live there, so they allow us to come in. And I go in there sometime with some guys around there cleaning up, but we haven't been in there since this winter. We haven't. Yeah. But what else would you like to say? Anything else about the Y?
No, I'll just say follow us on our social media platforms. So we do have Facebook, which is the Walnut Street YMCA. We have the Instagram Walnut Street Y, and the Y also has a TikTok page where so we're able to do a little have a little fun on the TikTok page. But I say follow us so that you're in the loop of all the good things that we're doing for our 85th anniversary and how we're celebrating this year.
It's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be a great year.
I look forward to working with y'all with the 85th anniversary, and if you can send me that link so I can tell a couple people so they can share the story, that'd really be nice. Because like I said, I know about 3 or 4 people easy that would, because they tell me the same old stories. I'm like, I wasn't around in that bowling alley.
The bowling alley.
And I think I could vaguely see that, but the different people who worked there over the years. And so I think I have some great stories for you.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah. So I look forward to working with you. And thank you, Ms. Laws, for all the work you do at the Y and how you keep the youth off the streets and give them a safe haven. And it's all great activities in there. Thanks again.
Thank you.
You good?
Yeah.
Anything else? Good. Okay. We'll be right back with Community Crossfires. Thank you.
We got to pay back. Revenge. Revenge.
Welcome to Community Crossfire, another point of view. I'm your host, Norman Oliver. As always, we have exciting shows. I'm not sure if there's any show more exciting than today. How about that?
I'll take it.
But I got to say this. Before I begin, right, we have the chairman of Delaware State College Board of Trustees and a good friend of mine, Leroy Tice. How you doing, Leroy?
Fabulous.
Let me ask you, can we hear Leroy
Go.
on the mic? Or can I do it? Hey, Leroy, I was going to ask you a quick question, right? How do you feel as the chairman of the board to get a new coach in, and this is one of your legacies?
So,
He didn't know I was going to answer these questions, but I always ad-lib because I don't care. Come here, Leroy.
yeah, ad-libbing is what Norman Oliver does for a living and does it well. Well, and I told Coach Jackson the first time we had the opportunity to meet that, we're going to match his energy in terms of the support, starting with the board and going beyond that to the entire community. And I envision from the southern borders of Delaware all the way to the central borders of Jersey, we are going to have immense support, more than we've had, right, from this community writ large. The excitement I could feel from yesterday, and I sent a note today to the university community that if authenticity makes a great first impression, that's exactly what you did yesterday. So we're just excited, and we're going to match his energy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it's, and I kind of half joke, right? But I think it's important, right, that you have the president of the board of trustees, because you have to have that on your side. And Tyson's a friend, like Dr. Allen. So we're going to start out right now with you, Tony Tucker. And Tony Tucker's been a friend of mine. And the man told you to cut your phone off. And look at her. And she's my sister. That's mine. I look, and look who it is. And look who it is. Look who's messing up our interview.
He can do it.
And look, man, this is live, right?
He can do it.
Hey, Tony, this is live and you messed up our interview. So the whole world's seeing you. Bye, I'll call you afterwards. So.
Turn it off. Talking about that's my sister.
Yeah, I thought it was my sister. Because he usually messes it up.
Awesome.
But how cool was that? Have the president, right?
That's a great interruption.
So Tony Tucker, right, is now the athletic director, but he's an amazing friend. And people who are watching, right, Tony Tucker is probably one of the most prolific basketball players in the history of the state of Delaware. I would say probably 4 or 5 people, and I've seen a lot of shooters, was as good as him. So he's in that category. And Tony, I'm telling you, man, I'm very honored and I'm happy for you because I know your journey. Tell me a little bit how this took place.
Oh, man. There were a number of steps, but basically, all in all, it started. President Allen, who we were just talking about, reached out to me. I was living in the Midwest. He reached out to me and talked to me about an opportunity about coming back home.
Were you with Nike then?
I wasn't. I was at another institution, a private school out in Central Ohio. I was the head of school and president of that institution, and we just mentioned about me coming back home and the chance to come back to Delaware. I haven't been back in Delaware since the early '90s.
But Tony, let me ask you a question. But what did you do with Nike? Didn't you do something with Nike also?
I had Nike as a partner in many of the ventures that I did, including down at YMCA Academies down in Florida.
That's what I was getting to.
And, so Nike has been a partner of mine for many things. I haven't directly worked with them.
How are you doing with this new transition though? Because going from there and then coming to an HBCU.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Me being a Delaware native, as you were saying, I always knew about Delaware State University. You had the honor of going there. But Delaware is a small state. I have many of my relatives that made the trek down there to be able to go. So I always knew about Delaware State University. I knew it was a great institution. We used to always joke about it and say that it was a sleeping giant, diamond in the rough. And it's just a matter of time before something big is going to happen. I'm now happy to be a part of that something big that's happening there now. So.
Wow. Thank you. We're honored to have you. How you doing, Coach Jackson?
I'm doing great, man.
First, man, welcome to the state of Delaware.
Yes, sir.
DSU, Hornet Nation. This is a big transition for you, man.
Huge.
So what is your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, looking at this situation, I just want to first and foremost say how appreciative I am for being in this position. I feel like for Dr. Allen, for Dr. Hawkins, for Tony, Drew, I mean, just the whole staff to be able to think about somebody of my nature is awesome for me. And I just want to show them how much of a great decision they made because this fire, this energy, my background, where I come from, I mean, sports been, since day one, my dream, and my number one dream was to make it into the NFL. And I had an older brother named Byron Jackson who he made it to the NFL, but when I was younger, I used to be like, you made it, but like, I'm gonna make it and be like this huge, big time player.
Right.
And I feel like as young kids, a lot of kids don't really have the hope and the vision because they may not feel like it's possible. Like for me, I was actually able to touch somebody that made it. So for me, it just felt like it was doable.
Right.
Nowadays, people don't think it's doable because it's a far-fetched to be able to go see a professional athlete and think they're real. Like, cause you know that we're praised in a certain way where it's like we're almost not human. But at the end of the day, we're human. Nothing makes me different from you. We bleed the same, we put our pants, everything is the same. And I just think sometimes when people get started, their heads get too big. And for me, the reason I feel like I was able to have so much success is because I always went back to my roots. I always go back and try to bring people out because if you get stuck in an area like that and you don't have no hope and no way out, it could get crucial.
You know, so what I found, right, some coaches who come to Delaware State, right, it's a big adjustment.
100%.
You're talking about budget, you're talking about locker rooms.
For sure.
it's a lot of things, a lot of variables.
Yep.
How do you plan on dealing with that?
That's a great question. So
I asked a good question.
No, it's a great question. So for me, I don't think it was never about the facility, never about the finances, never about how much they're gonna pay me. It was never about the resources. It was about what are the people like there? What is the area like? And when I went foot on campus, meeting Tony, meeting Dr. Allen, I mean, it just felt like home. And Coach Clark, we can talk for that. Like, we didn't know what to expect. I mean, we literally talked a few times. In less than 48 hours, we're on a flight coming to Delaware. I've been to Delaware, but it was only one time to visit Dover military base when I was playing for the Eagles. So for me, I didn't know what to expect. But it was just more about the morale. It's like you could tell the eager of them wanting to win. Like, obviously, Tony is in a new position here, but you could tell he was like, we're going to figure it out. Like, when I came to see the stadium, he's like, man, this high schools is better than this. So it wasn't about that, but it's more about the building. It's the legacy, the history we're going to be able to embark on when we come here. And for me, this is a place that HBCU, my dad went to Bethune-Cookman.
Right.
When I came out of high school, I would have loved to go to HBCU for the culture and for our people, but I became too big. So, I had the big schools coming after me. But for me to be able to coach and to be this my first destiny, I mean, it don't get no better than this, man. It's huge.
At least your dad was in MEAC. Because Bethune used to be in the MEAC.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Clark, let me ask you a question, right? So I got an opportunity to talk to some of the players yesterday, right? And they were all enthused, and excited. They said they had never seen this much energy in the last few years. So did you get an opportunity to talk to some of the players?
I did, and it was great, being able to see them, in the flesh yesterday, especially for me, it's a transition coming from the high school level and coming to the college level. You don't know what to expect. You think that these kids are gonna be ego-driven and not be, not reachable. However, what I found yesterday, they're just kids, and you start taking yourself back when you were sitting in that seat and you realize, you just want somebody to lead you. You want somebody to point you in the right direction, and you want discipline and you want guidelines. So that's what I felt yesterday. They had a lot of energy in there. They felt the energy. He bounces off the wall with energy. So it was a great reception for sure.
You know what's interesting, right? And I commend Dr. Allen and the board and all these guys. They gave a high school basketball coach an opportunity. And I think Stan Waterman is turning around. Now, you guys are getting this opportunity. I just think that it's an even greater challenge. Am I right with that?
I say it is a great challenge, but I always look at it as the shoes that fit. No shoe is too big for me to fit. I grew up with some big shoes. I got to wear size 12, so I like to say I can fit any shoe. But I was always, when I was young, it's like, man, he got big feet. I don't know, maybe it's the reason why I'm so fast. But for me, I look forward to it. And the reason why I say that is because, to piggyback off of what Coach Clark said, when we was in that meeting with them young men,
right?
It's like they've been waiting for somebody to just take control and be a leader, like, of men. Like, you can't be a coach, you can't be a father, you can't be a role model without leading. You got to have the intangibilities of, I know what it looks like. I've done it at a high level. He's been coaching for over 20 years. He's put a lot of players in the college and made it to the NFL. So it's a certain way this thing looks. It's a reason they're 2-11. And it's no disrespect to anybody that did it before us, but when we're coming in, it's a morale, it's a culture.
You said, you said there's a reason why they're 2-11 and there's no disrespect?
I mean, at the end of the day.
I'm joking with you, man.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, we're gonna call it what it's.
What are you guys' recruiting mechanism? How are you gonna go about recruiting? What's your strategy?
I mean, the guys that I'm bringing on, man. For one, I can't be successful without the men around me. I'm gonna surround myself with men of integrity, men that have experience, men that played at a high level, that coached at a high level, from all the way from the NFL to college. And I think the biggest thing about this trick is with the NIL space and the collective, and all these big time athletes wanting to get money now because it's legal. And I respect it, because at the end of the day, it was a lot of years going on where, name and image and likeness, we wasn't getting paid for it. Like, when I was in college, they would make a lot of money off us, but we didn't get paid for it.
Wow.
So now it's able to, you're able to get the money. And I think it's tricky because they all want to go to these schools, but guess what? A lot of kids are getting overseen, and the portal opens up. So it's like this, okay, if I'm a college coach and I get an opportunity to go get a college guy that's already got 2 to 3 years, who's ready, that's big, and he's been training, or am I gonna go get a high school guy? And now these guys, these coaches, they want guys in the portal. But guess what? You're missing out on. Some of these high school kids are big time players. but they're getting overlooked. So I think it's going to open up room for people to miss a 4 or 5 star, even a 3 star. Sometimes look at Tom Brady. He got drafted in the 6th round.
Right.
No one ever knew he was going to turn out to that. But it's so many guys that you just got to know the eye of talent. And I think for us to be able to go in these houses and talk to these kids, and I mean, you coming in the door with a DeSean Jackson. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I mean, the track record and the proof is in the pudding, man.
Right. So do you think Deion Sanders has made it popular for guys like the former NBA, NFL players to come and coach teams?
I will give a lot of credit to Deion because I feel like he kicked the door down, but I think it's just destined. It was only an amount of time for it to happen, and I just feel like Deion, his culture, his flashiness, and who he is, just allow guys like myself, Michael Vick, to be able to get in the door. But if we're gonna be real, just because I never had the experience to coach, it's the first thing for everybody. I mean, like how you gonna know you could do something if you never get the opportunity?
I like it.
And at the end of the day, when we sit in these seats, I mean, for me, I feel like when I came in that meeting room and I met with them, I was swinging for the fence.
Right.
I'm not gonna come in here. I'm gonna be authentic. I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna sugarcoat stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and put on a pretty picture like I'm just the perfect person. Like I got faults. So it's things I had to learn from my career as well too. But I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't go through what I went through. So that's the thing. Talking to these young men, I just want to show them the trials and tribulations to life. And at the end of the day, when I stepped in the room and they come in with me, I just want them, by the time they leave, it comes a young man to a grown man, and I just want to teach them. They might not all make it to the NFL, but if they could get their degree, they walk across that stage, put a smile on your parents' face, I mean, it's gonna make me feel good.
I like that.
And then going to the league is the final goal. You do that, I'm jumping on the roof.
Right. You clap. Tony, it's a challenge for you.
It is.
Right? So what's your thoughts?
It is a challenge for me, but everything is a challenge. Everything that's rewarding is always going to be a challenge, and I've been dealing with that for my whole life. You remember, you were around when I was in high school. I was a kid. I was a little skinny kid. They said they don't know if this kid can even start on the varsity team. So I took that personally. I said I'm not even going to start, but I'm going to be the player of the year in the whole state. And so since then I've been challenges after challenge. But
so this is what I mean by challenge, right? So now you have the equestrian team, you have the bowling team, you have the whatever. Right?
Everybody.
Now they're getting like this. They get a lot of attention over here. How do you balance that?
The first thing is that this attention is going to help them.
Good answer.
So everybody's going to benefit. This is not just a football thing. This is an athletics thing. This is a Delaware State University thing. This is a state of Delaware thing.
I like that.
This helps the entire, let's all be real, the state of Delaware hasn't seen as much excitement in quite
when I read the paper today, I said Delaware State made the University of Delaware sports page. Because that's what it is. University of Delaware sports page.
So it is what it is,
and,
right?
Tony and I used to be involved with NIL before it was popular.
Yeah. So you know what that means, right? We ain't gonna touch no more on that.
Yeah, but this is good stuff, man. Do anybody in the audience have a question? Go ahead. Do we have a mic, or do we have to come over here? Or do we have to come over here? He got a mega hat on too. He's a what a
Barbers great again, baby.
Oh man, see my eyes is bad. Look, that's my man. Look, I was gonna say with a mink coat on.
I need your card, my brother. I need to get right, man.
He's the best barber too. Yeah. He played at Delaware State also.
Yeah, 2 chips.
Awesome.
Yeah.
2 chips off one.
I heard that.
Come on over here. No, because I don't know if they can hear you.
Nah, the question I got is athletics is big, but the attendance.
Yes.
I would like the coaching staff and the athletic department to be just as well into people getting and coming to the stadium.
For sure.
Because Del State Stadium is small. I played in it. Yep. It's bigger than what I played in.
Right.
But we was winning chips and there still was nobody in the game.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, to even breathe anything, you got to get fans in the stadium.
Sure.
And Dover's a place that City of Wilmington people don't travel to unless it's a party or something going on. So I like to hear what are y'all going to do also to get the attendance of people coming to the game. You can talk about all the players you got, but if nobody coming to see them or watching on TV or away, it don't make sense. So we used to travel big and we used to have big attendance in the state of Dover. So I want to see that coming back, the attendance.
That's good.
I think to touch on that, first and foremost, I agree 100%. You know, in my press conference yesterday, I touched on that. And, you know, I just encourage the community, the faculty, staff, the alumni, we want to be able to bridge that gaps. Because last year when obviously I've been diving in and watching film, it's mind-boggling to see them games and you see 15 people in the stands, you know what I'm saying? So for me, if you want the city and the team to do anything positive, and players on the field got to feel that support. If they out there and they don't feel the support, like all my career and every step I went to and every stadium I played at, being on that field and looking up and knowing your girlfriend, your mama, your cousin, auntie, uncle is cheering for you. Like, I know we all, when we went to school, it was a girl you did something for, or somebody you impressed. That just makes you go over and beyond. So I think just bridging that gap, bridging the alumni together. You said you got 2 MEACs, you lost one. We need to bring that energy back. Them young guys got to feel that energy.
Yeah. Over here. You got a question? No, also, while you're walking over here, I would like, me personally, get more ex-players involved.
That's what I'm talking
Rather
about.
than just on the internet and Instagram and talk, you know,
sure.
you know how
I gotta come out and support,
they
man.
talk about more stuff and they all together they put up $10.
We gonna give them something to cheer for. I promise you that. We gonna give y'all something to cheer for, man.
Christopher Purnell, man,
you doing?
Executive Director of the Police Athletic League of Wilmington. Yes, my question, and piggyback off of Skills over here, recruiting. How can you make it beneficial for our Delaware, Jersey, and PA athletes, where a lot of times people say, "Oh, it's no talent in Delaware," but I'm a product of that talent as well as Skills and other people been around to put people in those stands. I think when you get recruits from other states and far away, I ain't gonna bring up those states, but those families aren't traveling every week to come to those games or fill those seats. How can you in your recruiting get the kids that are or have the talent to come to you guys and fill those stands up and play well for you guys and showcase their talent?
Yeah, I think me personally, I feel like when we sat down and you gonna stay there?
No, good.
I just got another question.
Okay, no, you good. So I feel like me personally, I think that's important. And the reason why I say that is because you have a lot of talent that's overlooked, that's not seen. And a lot of guys in the state of Delaware are leaving and going to other places, God knows where they're going. So for me, I said day one, I wanted to put a gate around Delaware. And not only just Delaware, I played in Washington, I played in Baltimore. Philly's right down the street. I want to be able to go to all 4 or 5 states in this area right here. And we put a gate around it and we keep talent in here, because if you miss talent or you don't see talent and they want to go to Delaware or they want to go to Pitt or Penn State, obviously, Penn State and Pitt are bigger schools, but HBCU, we have to support that. We have to sit in these rooms and understand, hey, this guy right here is special. Let's give him an opportunity. So for me, I just say we put up a gate around it, and we're going to go to a high school later on. We're going to high schools. We're going to Dover High School. We want to be able to go to all these high schools, because I'm sure in the past they probably was overseen and they didn't get that attention. So we want to be able to go get that attention and keep these guys in state so they're not leaving.
Very much true. And my last question for you guys, and athletic director as well, is how do you guys look to improve the facilities in the next few years? Not now, because we know it's a start, but in the next few years, how do we improve the facilities for those individuals to want to come to the schools? Because just like you guys said at the start, some high schools look better than a university, right? So how can we improve on that, and how can you use the community to help you improve on that?
Yeah, so we're not at the very beginning, but we are in the beginning stages. It's probably been a 3-year run up here of the what is called the Athletic Transformation Committee. And the Athletic Transformation Committee it involves the upgrade and improvement of the facilities, upgrade and improvement in the operations of the athletic program, upgrade and improvement and just the overall kind of standards of where the athletic program is. So we're in the beginning stages of that. So a part of that is the improvement of our facilities. We're getting ready to break ground pretty soon on and be the only HBCU in the country to have an indoor athletic facilities for indoor football, as well as locker rooms, and it's going to benefit the university in other kind of ways. But and that's in phase 1. Then we're going to upgrade the current stadium, the alumni stadium we have, and then we have some other phase 2 and phase 3 of some big time facilities that we're not only going to be the best HBCU in the country, but we're also going to be one of the best just small colleges and small universities throughout the whole country. So that's ramping up now. We got a lot of fundraising efforts that are in place as we speak right now. We were just, he's been already talking on the phone to some people that are very interested in helping us to obtain some of these goals. So we're well down that road, but we still need help though. And we want help from
so
the
you can
local
chair the
folks.
finance committee.
There we go.
Fundraising committee.
There we go.
Sure. All
Yeah.
that is good help. No, for sure.
Those athletes, man.
Yes, sir.
We took that talent out of state of Delaware and got them, seen and locally, and their academics in order where it needs to be. So again, we're just here to support.
Hey, Coach
So
Clark,
also
let me
one
ask,
storm is
let me ask Coach Clark a question, right? Did you want to say something?
I just want to comment on that he asked at first, because one of the things that being a Delaware native, one of the things that I found as far as HBCU, a lot of people in my family went to HBCUs. I think that we hear a lot of times, I just tell you the reverse side of this. We always say a lot of times, like when we say like, oh, Penn State or University of Maryland or whatever, like they have so much more to offer than HBCU. I think part of the challenge is that, like when I was coming out of school, I was considered a pretty high level recruit. I was considered a 4-star. But I think that HBCUs have got, which we're doing right now, do a better job of beating the drum of what we have to offer. There's stuff that HBCUs have to offer that Penn State can't offer, that University of Maryland can't offer. There's the cultural experience. There's so many things, but you never really hear about that. You just hear about the things that the other schools can offer that HBCUs can't offer. And I think that we have to be able to balance that scale to be able to give youngsters a reason of why you should be thinking about staying home and going to a Delaware State University.
Hey, what I was gonna say, Coach Clark, the only way this guy could be successful is the people around him. Coach, would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
So what would you look for in having coaches around you? Because I hear him talk about you a lot.
Right.
What kind of coaches will you bring in?
Well, first of all,
And have you been bringing in some?
I think, for me, obviously, you have a lot of experience coaching, right? I've been coaching for a long time with a lot of success. However, I haven't coached on this level. So we want to bring guys that have had experience on this level, doing it, been grinding it for a long time, that can make it easier for us to pave the way for him. We're going to surround him. We're going to make sure that he's protected. Anything that he needs, he's going to get. But one thing that people don't really understand, this young man coached with me last year. DeSean Jackson is a heck of a football coach. We took a school, a 100-year-old school that has never, ever, ever appeared in a championship game. And that school in Southern California, in our first year, we took them to the title game. And it wasn't just because of the kids. It wasn't just because of me. It was because of our coaching staff. And Coach Jackson was a major part of that. Kids play for him. Kids run through walls for him. And I believe the staff that he's putting together are willing to block for him.
But are some of the coaches willing to take pay cuts? Because that's going to be one of your challenges.
It's the long game, right? It's the long game. We're here, we're committed to trying to turn this thing the right way. We want to make sure he's successful, but most importantly, that Delaware State University is successful. And these kids are graduating, these kids are having fun, and to fill those seats, we got to win games, but we got to win in the class. We got to win in the store. We got to win, with the women on campus. We got to win as sons, as brothers. So we want to make sure that we're winning in every facet at Delaware State, and I think that's going to bring the community, because you're going to feel that energy. If we're doing the things the right way, people want to be a part of what you're doing if it's the right way. So I think that's what we're trying to build.
Did you have a question?
Sure. Thanks again, Nora.
No problem.
Guys, fabulous comments. Really appreciate it. Mike Quarant, I run the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce, and I know the business community is super excited about all this. Tony Allen, Dr. Allen sits on our board, and we're excited at Tony's contributions. Everything about helping these kids walk across the stage is really, really critical. As you know, not everybody's going to get a chance to play on Sunday.
Sure.
But we stand ready to provide them opportunities during the summer months, internships, our Intern Delaware program. We've got a big event on Monday night. You're welcome to come. It's the best business networking event in the state. Monday night at the Chase Center. We'll fill it with 1,100 business leaders, government leaders. So come on over to our annual dinner. Question I have for you is, when you talk about the student experience, and I think you guys have all got the right angle on this. Not everybody wants to go to a school with 50,000 students. Not everybody wants to go to a small liberal arts school with only 1,000 students. You've got perfectly geolocated between DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, etc. You've got something special. And I think the marketing that you guys have touched on, I think is really going to work. And I think you got something really great to offer. Got a lot of people moving to Sussex County out to the beach, fastest growing county by percentage in the region. And there's a lot of people coming from all those metropolitan areas to retire. So when they come to visit grandma and grandpa, they got an opportunity to take a school visit. So I hope that's part of your strategy. Love to help you out.
Awesome.
Yes, sir, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
lot.
We appreciate that.
You, brother, for sure.
You know, it's funny, right? I've been doing this for a long time, right? And I've never seen Delaware State Chamber of Commerce or the business community. They rally around University of Delaware, right? But never Delaware State.
Right.
And to hear this guy come in here and say that, that brings up a whole nother challenge to our institution. I don't know who's in that position, Brother Starr or who's going to be there, Tice. But we have to tap into the business community. We have to tap into those resources. And we got to start thinking different. We got to start thinking outside the box. And have this gentleman come in and say, we want to support you guys. First time, I've never heard this stuff before. First time, I'm telling you, I mean, I keep it real, right? I ain't never heard it before. And so this is a great opportunity for us. And I think that we have to market it now, Tony. And I don't know who's in Vita's position. I don't know what Dr. Tony Allen's going to do. Like, let me give Steve Ewing a shout out. I think Steve Ewing was my big brother when I was a freshman in college. He was a student government president. I was freshman class president at Delaware State. And I learned a lot from Steve. And for him to come back, and I always chase him, trying to get money back. But Steve is doing a lot of stuff. And we got to honor people like that, like Leroy Tice. But I'm serious about this too, guys. We got to get our alumni involved. I mean, it's good to talk it, right? It's good to criticize. It's good to say we should have meals stand, blah, 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 blah. But we got to give back. I mean, you got these guys who played football. And I keep it 100. They get on the internet and criticize and won't even give $10 to help paint the locker room. We got to do a better job. We got to do a better job. And you have a voice, and maybe it's a person like you that can lead that charge. And I talked to Coach Collick about it a little bit. But back to you guys, man. So first of all, thank you for coming on the show. You came on the #1 show in the state of Delaware, Community Crossfire. and I'm up, giving you a little props here. So in closing, what do you say to the people who are watching?
I say this is, as we've been saying the whole show, this is an exciting time for not only for not only the state of Delaware, but also for in particular Delaware State University and for our athletic program and for our football program. This is an exciting time, and we open the door, for have everybody come to be a part of this. We want to pull the whole state together. We want to bring everybody in the region together to be supportive of this. And I think it's going to be a great thing. And I think we're going to look back on this day and say, man, this was the beginning of a new era.
And the time is good, right?
Time is great right
I mean, it's
now.
the right timing, right?
Yes.
I mean, because it was electric at the press conference yesterday.
Awesome. That was awesome. You would think we had, like Michael Jordan or somebody. I mean, you thought it was like it's.
You got so excited you announced somebody for the president.
yeah, because they changed the order up on me.
You gotta
tell me that stuff early. You can't be changing it last minute. I'm getting older.
Look, you laughed at that. So in closing, what do you want to say, Coach?
And I just want everybody to understand it's going to take everybody. I think it's important, it's imperative to understand that if everybody wants to see this change and they're excited about it, they're truly excited about it, it's going to take a lot of work from us. And I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm excited to see these young men's face. I'm excited to see how they come in the doors and how they leave, because I know for sure I'm going to get them guys right. Like, the guys is going to come around, we going to make sure.
I tell you, they was excited, man, when I talked to them.
Man, because we know what it looks like, man, and the information and knowledge we got. When it comes to ball, I mean, like, we can't miss.
And how was it playing for Coach Eddie Reed?
Oh, man, it was a father figure, man. It was, I lost my dad in 2009. He died of pancreatic cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes, sir. And when I lost my pops, I mean, my back was against the wall. Like, my dad was my backbone. Andy Reid brought me in the office, and man, he took me under his wing. And obviously, he had a lot of things going on with his kids when he was, coaching in Philadelphia, and he lost one of his sons. And, I could just tell from a father figure, for somebody that had the status, and, he brought me in. It's like, you adopt a kid, and it's like that kid you adopt, you build that special relationship with them. But for me, man, I got somebody to model my coaching staff after my motto. And I think the best coaches, because I done played for a lot of coaches, the best coaches, they know how to react to their players. They know how to understand their players.
Chip Kelly didn't, did he?
I don't know. Who was that? I don't know who that is. No, but honestly, man, I just think, like, as a coach, you have to understand your players. I mean, at times we used to work hard, and then at times he used to pull back on us. It was like a happy medium.
He knew.
He knew, but that's a coach that understands your players. Some of these coaches, they go fully gas, and it's like, you're going to break your players down. So how you expect them to go out and play on Sundays or Saturdays and give them their all? They already broke down. So I feel like I just know the perfect motto. And, I'm going to stay in contacts with, him, Sean McVay. Deion Sanders is, a mentor to me. Obviously, this dude right here, he got a lot to offer in his insights. So I'm honestly proud for him, man, because this is a lifelong dream for him. And when I got the opportunity to get this job, I said, you leaving your job, you leaving whatever, your family, whatever. I'm going to make sure I take care of you. Don't worry about it. And I just want to tell him, man, I'm excited for his journey, because this dude right here is for sure going to be a head coach.
And you know what's cool about this? I think that you guys are relatable.
For sure. We feed off each other.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about even relating to the kids, the students. I mean, you're not like stuffed shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to be, I'm going to be myself.
I saw your two-step. You got to work back on that. I think
don't play with me, man. I get on you, man. I know how to boogie a little bit.
Okay, there you go. Hey, Ivan, where you at, Ivan Thomas? Come on out here, man, so we can say goodbye to you. Hey, Shannon. When's the first game? I don't know.
We played Delaware
First
University.
game is at University of Delaware.
Wow.
University of Delaware. That's a heck of a way to come in.
Thank you, Ivan. DETV, give him a big hand.
DSU all day.
He's a big man.
Sir.
JJ, how you
All
doing,
day,
baby. This was a good show. We thank you guys.
Anytime, man.
Coach, did you want to say something?
All I want to say is, in the most humble
Where
way.
your brother at? Come over here. This is my man.
Come here, Byron.
Man, this is my man. This is my dude right here, man. Man, you said he been taking pictures of him since he was a kid. For sure. This is my boy, man.
It's our brother. No, I just said I want to, piggyback what Coach Jackson said yesterday, and to the alumni, I want to tell you guys, hey, get on right now.
That's right.
Don't wait.
For sure.
Because we want to make sure that we're all starting at the same point. Get on this wagon right now. We need your support. Don't wait until we out here and everybody's talking about us across the country because this man is successful. Jump on now. Rally this community so that we can all meet in the same place when that synergy meets down the line. So just jump on.
B-Boy Tyson, you want to say something in closing?
Yes, sir.
This is our guy, president of the Board of Trustees, and one of the best lawyers in the state of Delaware. And I always say that because they give me a lot of free service.
It's good to know. It's good to know, right?
Well,
Yes, sir.
I want to say this, and it's important to say, particularly to parents of DSU students. We are about student success. So let's be very, very clear. You don't become the number 3 public HBCU and number 9 HBCU overall unless you are committed to retaining and graduating students. Mm-hmm. So let's be very, very clear about that. And that took some transformation in and of itself. Mm-hmm. And transformation requires planning and execution. Sure. Okay? So number 1, parents, be very, very clear and be very, very confident that DSU is about student success, and we have a proven track record in that regard. With respect to athletics, that also takes a commitment. Sure. And we are committed to it. Transformation, the litmus test for transformation is whether there's actual change. Today, you see in front of you actual change. We are in a transformation continuum. Now, with respect to the alums and anybody else that wants to be a part, I think my buddy Rob De Niro said it best in the movie Ronin. Either you're going to be a part of the problem, you're going to be a part of the solution, or you're going to be a part of the landscape. Sure. Which one are you going to be? The time is now.
Thank you, man. That's love, man.
Man, that's love.
Appreciate you, man.
Always, coach. Always, coach. We're going to match your energy, coach.
Sure,
that's a problem.
Dr. Allen,
I feel it.
Dr. Allen, I hope you enjoyed the show. And you told me to be nice, I'm going to be nice. But I really wanted to talk about how the coverage of people in our community. This guy, a state rep, got a DUI. We haven't heard anything. But we keep seeing our black guys get crucified. But I'm being nice because we got company. But next week, I'm gonna fire you up. So I'm out of here, Stormy Norman. I'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.